All right, 90 Day. Okay, Love is Blind, take one.
Love is blind.
Love is blind.
Love is blind.
It's 90 Day Games presenting
Love is blind. Okay, y'all. We don't just have love triangles. Isn't this episode, that's what this is called? Love triangle. I'm in a love triangle. I don't want to get fangled.
Never heard of that song.
I'm in a love hangover. I don't want to get over.
No,
Diana
don't
Ross.
know it. I don't know that song.
You're incorrect. That's bad.
Well,
That's a fantastic song by Diana Ross.
I've heard of it, but I don't. It's not ringing a bell.
Yeah. Well,
I need
whatever.
to listen then. But you're right. These aren't love triangles.
These
They're
are love squares,
love
or
quads.
love quadrangles, or love rhombuses. Rhombi?
I like
rhombi?
love quads. I like that one because
I think I like rhombi more.
and holding on to a guy's quads, and he's just pummeling you. Where are we?
What? How is a guy pummeling you when you're holding onto his quads?
I'm bendy.
No, you're not.
You wouldn't know, and never will. Stop trying to proposition me. Y'all, this is Love is Blind, episode 2 of season 2. It's called Love Triangles.
Trust me, if I ever proposition you, I've gone mad, and I would rather you kill me right away.
I would. I'd just slit your throat like on the Red Wedding of Game of Thrones and be done with you.
Be a good way to go.
Be a good way to go.
So, y'all, we're getting into the meat of things here. We've got love squares, love quadrangles, love angles everywhere.
Love, yes. But is it love actually? We don't know. But is
What?
love blind? I was just saying,
No.
you're saying love
Is
things.
love blind?
Is love blind? They weren't really on this episode, Nick and
They're never on it
Vanessa.
until Cancun.
Yeah, they're not really Cancun, and then the reunion, which will be fun.
So let's just really quickly say that Nick and Danielle see one another, and it's great. She's into him. He's into her. He's got socks with his dog on them. And I must say, it kind of threw me for a loop when she said, this is your dog now, too. And I went, don't tell me any dog is my dog now. That's a big responsibility.
I thought that was sweet.
I thought it was sweet. Don't get me wrong. But I would get such anxiety if someone said, it's your dog now.
Well,
you had a dog who I had to look after, and that dog was problem from moment one.
Oh, she was a very fine dog.
No, she was so needy.
Oh, I think you might want to examine the fact that that's what freaked you out. You might need to process some things.
I think you need to examine my dick.
Again, slit your throat. All right, everybody. So, but yes, but it did actually, what you're saying, it kind of made it real because people care about their dogs. It's a big fucking deal. And people don't just willy-nilly say, you co-own my dog now.
Yeah.
And when he said that, it was like, okay.
He's a little kooky, but I like him. I think he's gonna have his hands full with her.
I think he's too, and this is coming from me, but I think he's too optimistic.
What do you mean? How so? What does that mean?
I think that he just thinks about it. I think that sometimes because Nick believes since they love each other and since they bonded so quickly, it's kind of like he thinks love conquers all kind of a thing.
Oh, so you're saying the problem is going to be with her?
Yeah, I think Danielle's
I agree.
I think she's like got a Santa Claus bag full of packages of trauma. And they're all going to get unwrapped very slowly and not on Christmas Eve.
What's this one have in it? Oh, this is daddy issues.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, what's
yeah,
this one? Oh, that's the first time someone called me fat.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
deal with this, honey. No, you're right.
yeah.
And I think he's ready to address it. I think he's a numbers guy. I think he's a problem solver. I think that's what he's put on this earth to do.
I think he's
So,
ready to address it, but is
me too.
she? Yeah.
I I I would agree with you that are they have a lot of work to do, but they seem to be set up in the best position. Now that's saying something because everyone else is kind of a mess.
This is true. I think yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that.
Except for we're going to talk about them this episode, except for Shake and Deep Tea, who I think might have the easiest time of it.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too.
I might regret that, but we'll see.
I'm pausing because y'all, we're gonna get to them. We're gonna get to them. Okay, but let's talk about the first couples that were kind of in pods.
This is a quad.
A quad. Yes, we're gonna talk
Iana, Jarrett,
Iana and Jarrett,
Mallory, and Salvador.
Yeah, y'all, we're gonna try instead of going.
Salvador.
Let's see. We might hate this and go back to the other way. Instead of going through it by how it went, we're gonna kind of.
Thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling everyone that might hate what I came up with, but that's okay.
No, I wasn't gonna say you came up with it. I was just gonna say we're doing this together. It might not work out together. We're a team, Poodle. It's not about this. There's no I in podcast.
There isn't. Where's the way I spell it? Let's just get on with it, you fucking doubter.
So, okay. So the first kind of pod, it's Iana and Jarrett, right?
Put down your grinder. There's an I in grinder.
Put it down. Put down your phone.
It's a Friday night. Piano Cat 77 is out.
We've got to do another show after this, so hang tight and buckle up.
We'll see. Maybe I can get fucked in between.
That's fine. Okay, so Jarrett is like, this is crazy, but I think it's working. And they're starting.
Iana, right?
Yeah, this is always happens in Love is Blind. It's where somebody starts. The first person says, I feel like I know you so well. And they're like, I feel like I know you too. And she's like, so she said, are you fine if I take your apartment and make it my home? And he said, our home. And she goes,
now,
oh.
I roll my eyes, but I guarantee you, I would be one of these motherfuckers in Love is Blind. Like, I know we've only known each other for like 3 days, and I am so into you.
You would be you.
I am the ideal gay contestant for Love is Blind.
You would be the first person to get engaged.
I would be.
You would,
y'all. If you propose marriage to me, I'm gonna be like Shayna. I'm gonna say yes and then think about it later. Sorry, I gave that away.
That is what you're going to do. Yeah, you gave that away. Spoiler alert. That's episode 3.
So Iana's talking to Jarrett, and she's like, I'm not a big maker outer. That saliva freaks me out. Iana, you need to get used to it because that's just kissing. I'm sorry.
That's just kissing. I think when someone says that, I honestly think that's a metaphor for her. I think, I could be wrong. I feel like with Iana, I feel like she's going to have intimacy issues.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
She's pretty much given that away.
Yeah. And I think that she's going to it's going to be really hard for her to I think she's smart, y'all, and she's very driven. So I think
I really like her on the show, but I think she's got a minefield of trauma.
She's actually probably it's like, y'all, we have different favorites. Like, there's a favorite that I love them because they're a hot mess and they're great reality TV.
That's Mallory for me.
Mallory and Shayna.
Yeah.
Iana, I'm like, oh, I would go out with you and have a drink with you. You seem really cool. Kind of like, that's what I love about her.
Until episode 3.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you're just another basic girl who wants the same thing that everybody else does.
But I do like her a lot. Okay, so, but Jarrett kind of ends their conversation with saying, I don't know. He said, yesterday was Mallory for me. Now it's Iana. It just keeps flip-flopping for me, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Cut to then he's talking with Mallory.
And they're doing pet names. He's like,
Hey, May
Mau
May.
Mau, May May,
Hey, Jer Bear.
Bear Bear. And he said, I had a dream about you. And he's talking about
I
their
had
wedding
a
and their rings.
dream,
A dream about you, Mallory.
Mallory. It didn't come true, Mallory.
Um, but he said they were talking about what they look like. And y'all, this is when I decided you may come for me here, but I think Jarrett is such a bullshitter. I don't believe him anytime he talks. And I think he's convinced himself of his own bullshit.
I think there's a little bit of bullshit with Jarrett. I actually think he has a good heart, but I think it's wanting to be with. I can understand why this would happen, but if he came to me, if I was his therapist and he said, I almost died, I was in the ICU for a week, and I realized I don't have someone to live my life with.
It seems like that's why he's on the show.
Yeah, I would really try to flesh out that meaning of why you want a significant other, and also what realistically does that look like for you to be in relationship with someone who's your significant other, and the amount of sacrifice that's going to take on your part. I don't know if he's ready for that.
And that is exactly what it feels like to me. It's a oversimplified version of love and relationships for him.
Yes, I
That
also think. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you finished.
No, I just feel like, and that's why it feels bullshitted to me. That he feels like he's speed dating.
I think
The
that
way,
yes, I think the bullshit. I guess when I think bullshit, you think somebody's consciously lying to himself. I don't think he's consciously lying to him.
that's
I
just
think it's
him.
I think it's a bull. He is bullshitting himself.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But also in talking about this, I think there's a little bit of shame in him that he's a sports guy. He's a competitive guy. He plays sports all the time.
I could see that.
I think he's getting into the competition of this. And I think we're going to see that later, this competition of him to succeed, to win, to like get someone. I
Yeah.
think that's going to motivate him as well.
I think there's an edge of fakeness about it to me. Weirdly, like when
Yeah.
he's talking to, especially when he's talking to Iana, like he senses some type of person who's easy to convince.
I don't think honestly, I don't think he and Iana have chemistry.
I don't either. That's
I
what
think-
feels weird.
To me, when they talk, I feel like it's two cousins who really love each other and get
Right.
along well.
Yeah.
Or like a
So,
brother and sister almost.
Let's talk about Sal, y'all. Salvador and Mallory, who's the rival for
Well,
Jared.
no, we didn't really talk about Jared. He basically
No, we did. I thought
well, he
too.
talked about the dream. But no, I think this is important. Jarrett says, have you thought about what marriage would look like between us?
Yeah.
Y'all, that's a big deal. And she's like, well, she said, well, yeah, I've thought about it. But she said, and he asked her, what type of wedding ring would you like? And she says, well, I'd want a traditional gold band. And so he's asking her, y'all, he's thinking endgame with her because he's starting to ask all these questions. That's just what I wanted to say.
Is he really?
I don't know.
To me,
God, he's cute though. Oh, he's so cute and he's so funny and charming. Oh, I'd fall for him. I'd fall for him. Are you happy?
but I think that's where I see the falseness. To me,
Y'all,
it's worse than
I've had a
someone
lot
like
of
Shane.
guys in my bedroom like Jared.
But I'm saying it's worse than someone like Shane because he never really opens up until it's too late. He only does small talk.
Yeah.
And he more asks about them. And it's almost like he knows how to get women talking.
Yeah.
Compared to, and he gives very little about himself.
At least from the edits we've seen, yeah, which
Right.
is what all we can base everything off of.
So let's talk about Sal and Mallory.
Yes.
Sal, you guys, we've talked about before. Sal is the Latino guy, and they're talking. Of course, they're playing Never Have I Ever, which is always a bad idea.
Not a good idea.
And you can't see them. So the concept of never have I ever, you guys, you don't say, I'm drinking now. That's so stupid. Now
But
I'm
they were.
drinking. I've had a threesome.
But
Now I drink.
But
That completely ruins the concept.
well, no, because I don't have to have a wall between us to know that you're drinking.
Fair. Fair. But I'm saying the fact that they're telling one another, have I slept with someone of the same sex? Uh-oh, I'm drinking.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's like having to explain to a blind person the world. We get it.
We get it. We get it.
You know.
We get it.
I get it. The world's beautiful, Helen Keller.
But Salvador's talking. He's talking to Mallory, and he's like, "Never have I ever."
Now,
in his voice, and
I want to say this.
This is where Poodle got turned on.
This is where I went to a place.
I know.
Heaven on earth.
I know.
And she's like, I like to be like, have sex in public. And he's like, yeah, I never done that. And then he said, do you have any tattoos? And he said this really, because they've talked about Spanish before. He went, ¿Dónde? And I went somewhere. And she's like, oh, it's like right here. It's my blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I've got a tattoo of my siblings. It's 4 dots. And
Poodle didn't remember what else happened. He fainted on his fainting couch.
I kind of passed out.
You kind of passed out. I know you did.
And later on, he said, then he just says, the thing about Sal, he's like, it's radical honesty and you can't doubt it. He's like, I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah, I don't. Again, when you first meet Sal, you think he's a bullshitter and fake, and it's not. He's just radically honest.
Yeah.
That's a great word for it. And it's if you're the problem with someone who's radically honest, y'all, if you're not radically honest, they're gonna trigger the fuck out of you. And guess what? There's not any women on this show right now that are radically honest.
Totally. Let's talk about them in their second segment. Iyanna talks to Jarrett, and they're talking about their deal breakers. And she's like,
for me, it's cheating,
emotionally cheating, anything like that. And she reveals, you guys, that she was sexually assaulted at 17.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can make quick friends. That's great, but it's hard to let people in my life for a season. And he tells this story. This is his best moment and it's really hard for him to do this. Mm-hmm. And he said, my friend basically stabbed me and I almost died a couple months ago.
What? And
I was like, my mouth was open.
I thought like metaphorically stabbed him. No, y'all.
No, his friend stabbed him with a knife.
He said, I didn't really even see the knife. I got stabbed, and the next thing I know, I passed up, and I woke up in a hospital with tubes coming out of my nose. Now,
y'all, this bonded them.
If
anything, this is one of those things you tell someone, and you're bonded. And this is his most real moment. This is the only time in this entire time that he wasn't a bullshitter to me. Even when he cries, it feels. We're going to talk about that later, but
even this is where I think he's not bullshitting he's not purposely bullshitting the women.
No. I totally agree with you.
Well, no, but this is the reason why I think that, because it's a difference. If you look at Shane, Jared actually tells Iyanna right up front that he's made connections with you and Mallory. He has said that. He tells her
100%.
When he said that, I went, whoa, good on him for being like an adult. And actually owning that shit and doing it.
You're not going to say that later, though.
No, but I mean, but still, the fact that like where we look at Shane, who's completely hiding that. If you remember Barnett from last season,
right?
Totally. This is the first time a guy on Love is Blind that we've seen authentically said to another woman, I'm considering you and another woman, and brought her up.
But Mallory did that as well.
I'm talking about a guy.
Okay. No, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring that back up when we get to him later, though, because I want to see what you thought about him with Mallory and Iyanna.
Yeah. Let's talk about him and Mallory now. So
they're basically talking. This is weird because they almost retread the same thing. They're talking about what they do, and she has a house, and she's got a German Shepherd, and they want to cuddle. They have a lot more chemistry than Iana and he do.
yes,
So
yes. And she's like, again, saying, she said, kind of in her in the moment, I connect with him and Sal. And she said, I want to explore everything. I'm scared and I'm emotional. Y'all, but they're talking about cuddling, and she has a German Shepherd. He loves German Shepherds. So, it's interesting how different. It's interesting how people. This is what's fascinating about this show is that Mallory is way more, I would say, aggressive or forward
totally.
when she speaks to Jarrett. But then when Sal and Mallory get together, it's interesting. Sal is the vulnerable kind of, as we would quote unquote, soft man, so to speak, and he can sit and I mean that in a powerful way. He can sit in that
Very much
softness.
so.
He comes in, and the first thing he says to Mallory, Sal says, I find myself thinking about you, and I really like you. That's the first thing he says. And Mallory's just like,
and she goes red.
Yeah, she cannot handle it. Cannot handle it.
That's why of everyone on this season, she is the most interesting to me. I'm like watching her like watching a frightened animal. That's who she is for me.
I actually think Sal's is very interesting to me. I don't know. I like Mallory, but I think Sal is becoming very interesting to me. And this is the moment, y'all, before Poodle kind of got a little lightheaded.
This is when I lost my mind.
Sal says, this whole experience changed the way I date, and I feel like I'm falling for you, but I prefer.
No, I'm going to ask you to stop because I need to talk about this. So she's Sal says, I'm falling for you. You make me want to do things that I wouldn't do. Y'all, we've seen in previous scenes that Sal has been asking other people how to play this ukulele that he's brought. And he's been practicing this. And he's got a ukulele, and I wrote, I'm fucking dead. When someone plays me a song they've written, I am putty in your hands. And I know that because I played music on the piano for people, and they've dropped their panties and tried to blow me while I was playing the piano. And anyway.
I feel nothing when he plays.
Well, I never played for you. That's why.
That's true.
So anyway.
And the lyrics to this song are actually cute when he calls himself two peas in a pod. I knew you were going to love that. I knew you were going to love that.
I almost recorded me watching this. I almost paused it. And because I was like this, oh my God, this is the most. So he's like, and I wrote, this is the sweetest fucking thing in the world. He's playing the ukulele. He's saying things like, I hope this makes you smile as much as you make me smile. Y'all, if you're women out there and you didn't fall for this, or a gay guy, something's wrong with you. This was one of the cutest motherfucking things that had ever been done.
See, and I was interested. I don't know if you caught this, and this is why I'm going to say Mallory is not ready for this relationship.
No, she's not.
Because and I get a lot of people do this, and maybe I would do this too, but I don't know. Y'all, it's not like they're looking at each other. There's a wall. She buries her hands with her hair over her head.
Yep.
And she's so red. Y'all,
it's too real for her.
That body language for me tells me that's shame. There's a level of shame on this for her. Part of her feels like
she's worthy.
She's worthy enough to do this. And so, because there's a difference of being excited. And so, honestly, as soon as I saw that, I went, I don't think she's going to be able to dig. If they couple up, she's not going to be able to do this in the real world.
That's why I'm saying she's the most interesting person to me, because you can see her trying to change her spots like a leopard, but I don't think she's going to be able to.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to be able to at all.
But I want her to. I'm rooting for her.
Yes, yeah. I'm rooting for her too.
Unlike some of the others.
No, yeah.
But I think that's
That's
let's
it for them.
let's go back and talk about Shake and Deep Tea.
Sure,
Um,
we're gonna take a break for the people that are listening on the free feed. If you're on our Patreon, you're gonna continue. Remember, y'all, after this episode, episodes 3 and beyond, go on our Patreon and Supercast tier at the $5 Lonely Heart tier. So if you want to listen to more, you're gonna have to subscribe. So we'll be right back. Okay, let's talk about deep and shakes. Deeps and shakes. I mean.
So, y'all, this has been fast forwarded. I feel like I think they've probably had a lot more dates. We
I
just
think
haven't
so.
seen them.
This is what happened with Natalie and Nick. This is my problem.
Yeah.
Of it's
Not Natalie and Nick, Danielle and Nick.
Danielle. Thank you. Thank you.
So Shake and Deep Tea are basically saying they're talking, and he's like, I'm really into her. She's really disarming to me. And they both found out the other is Indian. And
Yes.
she basically says, did I ever tell you I lost a ton of weight, like 70, 80 pounds? And
Yes,
that
another
seems like
person.
a big reveal for her. And
Yes.
y'all, he's like, I just realized that I'm the only one asking these superficial questions. And there was this moment where you guys, we saw the undouching of a douche.
Yes, that is a great way.
We literally saw the undouching.
Y'all, because I hated this guy.
Me too.
And then in this moment, I went, this is the whole point of these type of experiments, is to see, put these people in this pressure cooker and see if the cracks start to happen.
And they did for him, because Deep Tea was so overwhelmingly amazing that
y'all, she's like,
if not for her, he wouldn't have changed.
And he says, this is the experience, what it's for. He said, I felt shamed. And he said, he tells her, he said, I was chubby growing up, and I had a lot of body issues growing up. He said, I think looking back actively on it now, this is a reflection of my own body issues.
Boom.
Y'all spot it. You got it. He was spotting it. It was when he said that, I went, holy fucking shit.
He's giving her compliments left and right. Like, this is the undouching.
And yet he's complimenting her. He's starting to talk about what their life's going to be, like getting married, having like he is starting to, and he said, I think the potential we have is so great.
Yep.
Or she says that. And he says,
now,
I think it might really work out for both of us. I really do.
This could wind up going back on us, but I really hope it doesn't, because I really like them together. And
it's hard. You know what this show reminds me a lot of? And because you experienced this. Y'all, Jake and I we met in college, but we became good friends because we both ended up being as a lot of you know this, we ended up being camp counselors, but it was a fine arts camp strictly for girls, ages like 8 to 16. It was phenomenal to see what happens to women and young girls when they got together and they didn't have the stress of boys and men. And we would see, like, when they would have socials with other camps they were guys, these girls that were really strong, kind of empowered, opinionated girls suddenly shrank into themselves.
Yep. You would see them turn into different people.
So that's what my fear is for Shakes. It's for Shakes actually or Shake when he gets out of
with
this.
Guys.
Not Deep Tea, but for him, he's he's undouching himself. But what's going to happen when he gets out into the world? Fair. So that's why I'm with you. I really want this to work out, but I'm worried
that the company he keeps are going to redouche him.
Because y'all, what this to me goes in is, and this is being probably a little too analytical, but I can't help myself. Y'all, they both have only ever dated white people. They've only dated blonde people. So already there's something going on about their
own culture,
their own race.
Yeah.
They live in the US. Do they feel that when they go out into the world and they're working and trying to be professionals, do they get more cred, or are they higher on the kind of are not as low on the picking chain if they are with someone who's white or if there's
Yeah.
someone who is this or that. So all those things are gone right now. They're all going to come back.
So y'all, he does propose.
He
And
does. Like, as soon as that happened, I was like, he's going to propose to her.
And so they're at their meeting ceremony, and he's like, that booty isn't safe.
Yes, and this is a cool thing, y'all. This happens in Indian culture. We've seen this with like Submit and Johnny.
I lost my mind here. Now,
I'm not touching feet. Not touching your feet, Smith.
He said the thing about this show, you guys, my favorite moment of this show is when they see one another. And it is the most revelatory. Do you remember when Lauren and Cameron saw one another?
It was.
I will never forget it.
You sobbed. Now, before they met each other, we got to tell them why this is important. If you didn't watch, they had a conversation. So it is part of.
They're like, I'm not touching. She's like, I'm not touching your feet. He's like, you don't have to touch my feet.
That's an Indian culture thing. He's like, I don't want you to do that. That's stupid. He said, and we're gonna have smart. And he says, we're going to have smart, awesome kids. I just know it. And she's like, yes.
Yep.
So anyway.
He's like, I can't wait to get you pregnant. He says things like that, which men have said to me before.
And that's when he gets down on a knee, asks her to marry him. She says yes. And so, yes, let's fast forward to when they actually meet someone.
He's basically saying, I put on this front to be cool and edgy and like everything about music, but she made me not feel that way. And when they first see each other, he sees her and his face lights up. He's like, holy fucking shit. And he's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God. He was so focused on the physical. I'm like almost crying. And she's like, oh my God, I never thought that. But he's like really hot. And they're both a little cynical people. So that's what I love about this. And he's like, of course, look at that booty, grabs her butt, and they can't stop kissing one another. And then, like you said, he touches her feet.
He gets on the ground, he touches her feet, and then he gives her the ring.
And he said, she's just perfect. And then at the end, he's like, I'm going to get you pregnant, which I've been told before too. So
I have too, honestly.
No pregnancies yet. Just
not yet. Well,
none that I've carried to term.
You do get that economy Plan B prescription every month.
Who knows? But
who knows? I'm rooting for them.
I'm really rooting for them because I hated him at first, and I loved her. She was one of my favorite people.
She's so pretty. I want to do her makeup,
and I want her to change him for the better, and I want him to change for her.
That's
what I'm saying. Yeah. So let's talk about the other quad, and this is the one that is super controversial.
Messy. Let's talk about Shane,
Natalie, Shayna, and Kyle. Oh, yes. God.
I know.
So let's start with
Natalie and Shane. And y'all, this is after, remember last episode, Shane fucked up and thought it was Shayna and was like, what are you wearing? And Natalie was like, So this is kind of the day after.
Yeah.
And so they sit down and Shane says, are you okay? And she said,
Natalie.
To Natalie. She said, yesterday I didn't want to talk. She's like, look, if it's not for you, she's like, if it's not you, then it's no one for me. Then I don't think it's anyone for me.
And she says, he even says, I feel differently about you. He gets her a rose. I feel differently about you than anyone else. And he's like, I just want to focus on you and no one else. He says these things, but we all know that's just bullshit.
And then Natalie, y'all, that's all it took. That is all it took. And Natalie goes, you ignored the fuck out of me yesterday, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And then now they're laughing, and he's saying, will
you be my girlfriend?
He's saying, I promise there'll be no more confusion. I'll just focus on us. And he's, will you be my girlfriend? And she says, yes. And then she comes back in the room where all the women, she's like, yes, Shane asked me to be his girlfriend. And Shane is just over there pursing those plumped up lips. Just,
asleep with those really heavy blanket and that like golden wine goblet, wine drunk.
She's like, "Can we pop up with the champagne?" And Natalie says that, and Shannon says,
I'm emotionally exhausted.
Busted.
So then, I assume it's the next day. We don't have any idea of time in the pods. Shane
No,
is
I
with
think
Shayna.
it's that afternoon because they have changed clothes.
And
remember, because they're changed clothes, because the first thing he says, this is what he.
What are
always
you
asks her,
wearing?
what are you wearing? Y'all, Shane is just a bang person for him. She's just a hot girl that he doesn't have deep feelings for her at all.
He's like, you're so fucking hot. Or in Gary Busey words, you're so fucking hot.
I'm sorry
You called it. You did it. You're so fucking hot.
I'm really upset I did that. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah. And she's like, and Shayna's like, I don't want another failed engagement. I don't
She's
want
like,
to
no.
do.
And Shane says, and he's like, well, what do you want to fight or what? She said, did you ask her to be your girlfriend? And
I love the question. I love this question.
Yeah, but I'm like, who cares? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Why do you ever say it? Doesn't matter.
Y'all, this is a fucking red flag. If you get someone who acts like this.
Totally trying to gaslight. It's terrible. Terrible. Terrible.
Then he said, why does it matter? Oh, fuck.
What does it matter? Fuck. And he finally goes, yes, I did. And she says, okay, there you go. And he's like, is it over? And she's like, yeah, if you have a girlfriend, it changes things. And then she leaves. And he's like, damn it.
Y'all, I'm saying this now.
I don't get it. Get it.
If you're with someone like this, break up with them.
Break up with them, y'all, because he should say, hey, I asked Natalie to be my girlfriend. I'm into her. It's her. I got to.
If they gaslight the fuck out of you and make you think that you're in the wrong for things that all your friends, all your family say that you're in the right for, they're a piece of shit. This guy's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit, yeah.
Poor Natalie is going to have to deal with this, and I'm not looking forward to it. I haven't really looked at the online version of what people think about Shane, but I can tell you what I think about him.
Who's had time? We've had to watch this fucking show all day.
Yep. You're right.
I haven't even had time. I just looked at a few Instagram and saw some shirtless pics, and that's
Can we talk about Shayna and Kyle? How does she even have time? That's my question.
Mismatch,
right?
Mismatch.
God, I really wish Kyle would have found someone else.
Y'all, this is square peg, round hole.
That's what they call me in college.
There goes your round hole, boys.
Hey, boys. You can call me square peg, too.
Anybody got a square peg?
Right over here. Right over here. Hey, boys.
Hi, boys. So, y'all, here's the deal. Is that so? It is interesting that Shayna is giving him all this affirmation, and she's like, he's giving me affirmation. And what woman doesn't want to be wanted? I want to be wanted. And
wanting to be wanted, needing to be needed. Sorry.
Anyway, Shannon, he sits down.
Okay, that's I'm done.
Sorry.
I'm actually done.
Okay, so Shayna, because mainly you almost hurt your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just checking. Shayna says, she's like, I'm drawn to you, but I'm vetting you. You're very intellectual.
Oh, kill me. She's awful.
I also think, I'm just going to say this, y'all. I think she's a little bit, I think she's one of those people, and we see in this, I think she's a little scary in this. She's one of those people that I don't need science. I don't need facts. I don't need like information. My opinion is because she says college is a waste of money. And look, y'all,
no, we're going to talk about this.
Not everybody needs to go to college. I am not for that at all, at fucking all. But saying that just blanket statement that college is a waste of money.
Can I actually? I'm gonna interrupt. Can we do a Love Is Blind theater here? And I'm gonna play. You know, there never are. I'm gonna play the role of Shayna, and you're gonna play Kyle.
Okay. Okay. And Action. Hey, so I'm so glad you're here with me right now, and I just have such a good feeling about you.
Yeah, I love that you like me.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
would you go to church with me?
My mom, she was Catholic.
But like, you believe in
Yeah,
God, like, right? You're like religious.
I'm not religious at all, but I'll show you my pecs when we get out of here. They're
Are you
quite.
kidding? Are you kidding?
Yeah. I'm not really religious,
Are
but
you an
not really.
atheist? Are you are you
Um,
atheistic?
that's not how you say it, but yes, I'm an atheist. Yeah.
Wait a minute, how can you do that? Like, God created like the heaven and the earth in 7 days.
Well, for me, it's just I believe in science. I really like
Like,
the
the
science.
science supports God. The science supports God.
No, I don't think Bible science.
No,
I
you
don't
think we're
it's-
accidentally here? You think we're
No.
accidentally here? You think
No,
we're
I believe-
accidentally here by like a fucking meteor and a big
I
bang?
mean, a person wrote the Bible, and yeah, I believe in the big.
Oh my God! No, like God wrote the
Wait.
Bible. Jesus wrote the Bible in English.
I don't.
Do you
think he
believe in
knew
evolution?
English. Yeah, I believe in evolution because it's proven. Do you not believe in evolution?
No. Like, God created like a sloth, and God created like a 4-toed sloth, and like there was a 5-toed sloth. They didn't evolve at all. God created all of them. Like, on the Noah's Ark, he created every animal that lived on Noah's Ark. Like 2 of them. That's how they survived, because it was like a flood, and then like a bird came through, and there was a rainbow, and that's how it happened.
I knew it was too good to be true.
I'll pray for you.
And
that, y'all, this was she's an idiot. Number
she's
one,
an idiot. She's actually ignorant AF. She is ignorant as fuck.
And I'm not saying that because she's an idiot because she's Christian.
No,
I'm saying that she
not at
doesn't
all.
believe in any type of evolution at all. And she attacked someone for not believing in her religion.
That's more what is. I mean, yes, y'all, come at us. Or actually, if you don't believe in evolution, don't come at us. Just go ahead and leave that 1-star Apple Podcast review you're about to leave right now and stop listening. But
yeah, y'all, I'm gonna keep talking about evolution.
We believe in evolution.
You might as well.
Full stop. It's science. But that's the grossest part, is that he was trying to somewhat, and this happens later on, he's trying to somewhat meet her where she is.
Oh my God, thank you.
And she is full stop. Nope, you're wrong. I'm not going to be with you. She's kind of the worst part of Christianity. The worst that
anybody should have walked right out of that room, because you guys, we talk about this with Russ and Pow. This is a values problem.
It's a value problem.
If you already have so many things that you don't agree with on a values level, walk the other way.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to say, oh, it's okay, she'll raise the kids with half Christianity. No,
because he even says, we'll let the kids. She's like, how do we raise our kids? And he said, well, we'll let them,
She's not going to be okay with that.
And she's like, no.
Ugh.
So, anyway, yeah, y'all, DOA.
Is there a little bit at the end here?
Oh, yeah.
Where Kyle is talking to Shayna, and
he said, I'm not going to throw away with somebody just because we don't believe in religion. Yeah. And y'all, it's pretty gripping television, because she walks in.
I was losing my mind.
She walks in, and you see, y'all, there's a ring case sitting on the ottoman, and she just keeps mouthing, oh,
I could not breathe. She couldn't breathe.
She kept mouthing, oh my God. Like,
and she's like, wait, our differences don't scare you? Like, they scare me?
And she said the word, our core values are so different.
Yes,
that doesn't scare you.
She was giving him an out.
And he's like, does it scare you?
And honestly, this is on him.
No,
I'm
it's on
sorry.
him because
This
she
is
says there's a
totally
part of
on
me.
Kyle.
Yes, because he talks her into it. She says there's a part of me of this that doesn't feel right. And he said, we have to risk it, honey. No,
And
no,
at
not
one
when it comes to
point,
core values.
he says, "This is my mother's engagement ring." Her mouth went open, and I went, "Drive, camera, drive! Drive!" I lost my goddamn mind.
And he said, this was my mother's ring. She was also very religious. Yeah, you're not marrying your mother, bitch. She's marrying you, Kyle. But he says, will you marry me? And she says yes without a smile on her face.
This was
The
one of
lack
the
of
most compelling moments of television I've ever seen. And
look,
I'm not overselling that, but it
I agree.
was.
It was very compelling. It was very compelling. It was.
And I wrote down, my mouth is hanging open this entire time.
How did you feel about her reaction? Because I can understand someone's in shock, but I think there's joyous shock, and then there's just the shock of reality of what I'm doing. What did you think of her reaction?
She wanted to be proposed to.
Yeah, she did.
Who doesn't want to be proposed to? I do. I want to be proposed to.
Y'all, people believe him. Who she said at the top of this segment, this episode, doesn't every woman just want to have attention and be wanted?
Right.
She said that.
That's what she wants. That. And she says later on, she's
and I think she wants to be famous on Instagram.
She's in. Oh, totally. She's in the moment. She's like, I don't want to make another mistake like I did before when I was engaged. And there are huge issues we don't see eye to eye on. I just don't know. Y'all, in the next scene,
I will say, in the moment after that, she comes in, y'all, she's full on crying. She's crying and she says, I'm scared. I'm just scared. I don't want to get engaged in. Again, I don't want to make this mistake. But yes, in the next scene, then we see her with who, Poodle?
Well, Shane walks in and we think he's talking to Natalie. And it is Shayna.
It is. And she says, I want you to hear me out real quick. And I just want you to know
deep feelings
for you. And you just hear Shane say, fuck.
I will say this. I don't like Shane. I don't really I understand. I don't really love Kyle because I think he's a simpleton, but this is shitty.
Oh,
This is ultimately shitty because she knows what she's going to do and she's going to burn it all down. And you guys, I get the idea that you think you have to be honest with people, blah, 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 blah. When honesty won't help and will hurt someone else, you're not helping anyone. This sucks. Let's be honest. Ugh. Yep. She sucks.
She sucks.
Yeah.
She sucks.
Y'all, I love this show.
The show is very good. It's very good. Y'all, that's the episode. If you want to hear more Love is Blind on Reality Gaze, you're going to have to go to that link to our Patreon or our Supercast link. If you don't love technology, we recommend Supercast. It can be a little easier, to be honest. But if you want to comment on the message boards, you can go to our Patreon link at the $5 tier. If you want to hear all of these shows without commercials, then be sure to go to our $8 tier, and that's where you can get everything commercial free, including our free feed shows that you normally listen to. Also,
apparently there was just an earthquake, but no one felt it.
Oh, well, good. Go to realitygaze.com, everybody, to our website. Go to our Linktree link. We'll see you in Los Angeles coming up on February 27th, where we'll be talking about the finale of Love is Blind.
And we'll be there with Dateline with Kimberly and Katie.
Yes, and be sure to check our Instagram on Monday for a special announcement that's going to be happening on Wednesday. I think that's it, Poodle. Y'all.
Remember, y'all.
Oh, we love this show.
One thing you have to ask yourself before you go to bed at night in a very throaty voice. Is love blind? Love is blind. Love is blind. Love is blind. It's 90 Day Gaze presented.